Welcome back to the channel.
Hello.
Hi, babies.
Hi.
So it turns out we've already done a couple.
No.
Yeah, we did Upchurch and Dax.
Oh, I thought you meant of this.
No, never. We're talking about something different.
Oh,
I need
we did a couple reactions.
Yeah, we did a couple reactions already. They're getting loaded up.
Yeah.
But I have this really interesting reaction to a Linda Ronstadt tune, and it got an audio block. So I'm gonna work out a little special. Sorry, Grumpy, you'll never guess what happened. Will be the title, and I'm gonna try because Ange told me straight up it's got to get put out. I kind of went off. You won't believe what I did with a Linda Ronstadt tune. But I needed to tell everybody because I got the Dax and the Upchurch is still uploading, and I've got to go back and do this because I really wanted to be available. So I wanted you all to know. I wanted my honey to join me for one more. And this is just for the people who like it. I'm going to see my honey what she thinks. And we're going to go from there. But it turns out, once you know a little bit too much about what's going on, you can never go home again. That's just true.
Wow.
I remember 20 years ago I was standing in that courtroom. My charges I could not defend. The last thing the judge said to me as he handed down my sentence was, "You can never go home again. Never go home, never go home."
Honey, when I set this up, did you think? What do you think so far?
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. I
didn't think you were getting this, did you?
No.
No, I didn't.
No.
Gangstagrass.
Oh my God.
You could never go home. I kind of thought Angie might like this.
Never go home again. Never go home. Never go home. You can never go home again.
And I agree with everything that the judge said. If you come back around, I'm going out like Judge Dredd. What was in your head when you made...
Oh! The channel just got a little respect for knowing who Judge Dredd is. The fact that I'm always referencing isotubes, which is prison in, Mega City. But really lines up with the isolation tubes and cricket paste that, I can choose Judge Dredd or Snowpiercer, but either way, you're eating the crickets.
Yeah.
Judge said, if you come back around, I'm going out like Judge Dredd. What was in your head when you made those choices? I can only hope that you were plagued by voices and you made the decision not to listen to the one that was on your side when you started to slide. When mama brought you back home, she was broken down to the bone, cause you had been gone so long. But now her baby boy is back in the house. You can see all the smile from her mouth. I ain't never seen her this happy. And then all of a sudden you disappeared again, and she's crumbling down. The smile is gone from her chin, and she doesn't know where. And I don't even care, cause you broke mama's heart twice, and it ain't even nice. Now I'm surprised as heck that she's wondering where you went. And I don't give a damn, friend. I don't even care.
You've done your time, and you come back out that doorway. You will not find a loved one or a friend. You may return to the place where the people...
This is undeniably not true. So, not every person who does wrong for their entire life. And some people who end up in prison, their loved ones change their entire life. To not forget about you. My fucking old man cashed in his trip and made sure he came home early from vacation, dragged my mom home early so he wouldn't miss a visitation day. So bullshit. Depends if you want to become a career criminal or if you're just a fuck up. Fuck ups can be forgiven. You can go on to a full life, maybe just never forget you were a fuck up. Now, these statements are different than the bars we just heard, because those bars resonated with you come home and then you disappoint mom again. You disappoint your loved ones again. Well, that's you were happier in that cage. That cage created comfort for you, not the idea of being free. Because the freedom comes with moral choices that maybe the weakest of us can't make. Sorry, but that one hit too close to home. Sorry, baby.
Oh, you're fine.
You know.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I had welcome home sign. He didn't give a fuck about the crime. He gave a fuck that his son was home. Doesn't anybody experience that? Doesn't anybody have that in their life anymore? I can't believe I'm that fucking special. I can't believe it.
On your time, and you come back out that doorway. You will not find a loved one or a friend. You may return to the place where the people used to know you, but you can never go home again.
Then it wasn't a home to begin with.
Never go home, never go home. You can never go home again.
Just a dwelling. Heartbreaking. It's good too, though. Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I think there's, like I said, there's exceptions to the rule, and I think the song is great.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't even have went off if it wasn't for the dual nature of the hook versus the bars. Because the bars did not tell me the same story as the hook. Right? In my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh, the things these eyes have seen will horrify the strongest. When I left the home I haven't been to in the longest. Led a life by the sword, forced to fall upon it. The kites flew, there was nobody left to correspond with. Familiar faces either passed on or flipped, so there wasn't much left for me to do except dip. Too many years lost off the lies of a snitch, so it was either do a bit or end up lying in.
Now that's different. Now he's in this story, if you didn't catch that, he's doing his time from being snitched on and it was bullshit. Now that's different too. And then if you are falsely arrested, you telling me your people don't stand by you? That's my only dilemma here, right? For me, I hear a contradiction there. And now we get to these bars.
Yeah,
and,
but even like, okay, so let's talk about the one person we know. Jenna's dad.
Yeah.
Okay. So even at that level, repeating, he's been in more than out.
Yeah.
His whole life.
Yep.
They even had, like, they celebrated when he came out.
Yeah.
His family was still there.
I know.
So.
But so I guess my difference is for the people who that actually means something to, versus this hallmark moment because you can spend $20 on sentiment.
But the thing is, I think there's a whole group. Like, I've heard stories of maybe upper middle class who shun kids that screw up and then come off, and then right? And then there's no... So,
I agree. You're right.
And even I'm sure at the bottom, too, that happens.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
Like,
but then
it's just sad.
And forgive me. I fear that that group has a lot of skeletons in the closet, and that's the biggest problem. It's like these stories of these, I need my success to be looked at, but don't ever look at my, failures. And then when the failures come out, you realize once again, hypocrisy runs rampant in people.
Right.
Because perception, not reality, seems to win the day. right? I hate to have a reoccurring theme, but the picture of the chicken dinner on the TV dinner is not the slop that you're going to eat. It's an artist's interpretation of what food should be. That shit in the package is poison, but the picture is beautiful.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I needed it to. I'm glad it's a little heavier than it should be, because there's just nothing but real reactions coming out. There is not a single moment of this artist we worship and go buy their shit. You should, but there's not a moment coming out of our mouths doing that.
No, we don't do that.
Well, I know, but that's what a lot of people look for. Oh, you didn't promote the band. How dare you? Take the link, enjoy it. If you want to bitch at me, instead of do that, go give them some respect and tell them reactors shit on their great song. If that's how you feel, right? Pay it forward. I'm just saying.
We're not trying to be disrespectful.
No, I'm not actually. I'm talking about the hater.
You have a personal experience with the subject at hand. You did time. You had family. You actually had a home you went back to. Yeah. Right?
No, hit close to home.
It represents not the, majority. Like, there's a significant amount of people that have the same experience as what you had.
Sure.
Okay? From top to bottom.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, some people don't have homes to go to
because
of
that's
X,
true.
Y, or Z. But,
yes.
I do. I guess I understand what you're saying, because it's kind of hard, because then that glorifies doing stupid stuff to go back.
Yeah, and I'm not, and I don't think they're glorifying anything.
No.
The lyrical
in the minds of
hit too close to home
or whatever. Yeah.
For sure.
Repeating offenders. I guess.
Yes. I just say in the end, I think we have a problem with identifying moral right and wrong.
Oh, of course.
Nights flew, there was nobody left to correspond with. Familiar faces either passed on or flipped, so there wasn't much left for me to do except dip. Too many years lost off the lies of a snitch, so it was either do a bid or end up lying in the ditch. Now, left to walk across the land is a mystery. Every new town reinvent a new history. I turn my back on my past just to get to see a new day. Reframe my identity to get to sleep at night. Man, I need about a fifth at least. The dirty deeds that I did just to get to eat. Melancholy and emptiness, the unseen consequence of the conditions of release.
We found a man.
I can tell that's true.
Well, because you were on paper for a long time.
Here, Seven Corners Hardware, I think it was called.
Yes.
It's gone now.
Yes.
But they so they brought me in for an interview just so they could ask what I meant by misspent youth, because that's how I used to answer. Have you ever been convicted of a felony? Because see, in Minnesota, they're bitching. I'll give them credit. They're talking about this finally. But you don't get a job. So the felony was forever, right? Yeah. They wanted that up front. And the difference was I wanted to explain that I never took nothing from an honest person once. And turned out Seven Corners is actually owned by law enforcement. So they were just being cute when they interviewed me. Right. And I let them know that didn't impress me, and that if they thought they were going to mock me, that I'm a better man than them. And you can't. It turns out, guess what? You flesh and bone, your judgment means nothing to me. I'm not judged by another human. Weirdly enough, that goes with that authority shit I bitch about. Mm-hmm. But it turns out you aren't my keeper. Ever.
Yep.
And, but it was a reality of life. That's why I bitch about the student loan thing. Because I couldn't understand why the state would give a loan to a person for a degree that they were never allowed to. All you had to tell me was that I was never going to be forgiven by the system.
Yeah.
And I would have made different choices. But see, I thought paying your debt to society, stupidly enough. Why? Because my family still loved me. Everything was in place, and I just went back to life. Now, I'm an idiot. I admit that. I learned valuable lessons, but what I never had to do was commit more crime to survive.
Yeah.
So that's the part where it departs for me, because it turns out, yep, I couldn't get a job as a designer. I could always wield a shovel, and that pays you too. It just turns out I don't think that's dirty or wrong. It's just a job. The ditch digger and the banker both have employment. Get over yourselves.
Hanging from the ceiling, his sentence was almost out and in. Right there on his bed was a note so sad and simple. Said you can never go home again.
Wow.
In jail?
No, I think that's a suicide note, baby.
Stop.
His sentence.
Yeah, go back.
I want to make sure I hear the whole hook.
Yeah.
Of the conditions of release.
We found a man the other day hanging from the ceiling.
They found him
Oh
hanging
my
from the ceiling.
gosh. That's so sad.
Well, the weird part is this is actually Green Mile. So the old guy who was institutionalized, they let him go. He didn't want to be let go, and he ends up writing his name on the roof and then hangs himself. So the trope is well used. It's not a fresh idea. It turns out deaths of despair are real from the criminally intent to the righteous.
But so it's I think it goes back to like the brain and how your brain functions, because some people get knocked down and take themselves out, and other people will use the same scenarios and events to go and kick ass.
And
go to the top.
Bouncing.
And use their turmoil and despair to just thrive and become something great, right? So it's very interesting because even in our own home we deal with this, right?
Yes.
Because I'm sure it comes from like growing up and being around those personalities that you develop, right? You imprint on our parents, right? Like how so just it affects us and how we develop, the behaviors of our parents and
for sure
what we become. But yeah, it's very interesting. So I think if you grow up with a lot of perseverance, like you did with your father, that certain thing, and if you're taught to bounce, instead of crawl under the rock, right?
Yeah.
It's very, it's so like amazing.
Oh.
Right? What the will can do or not do.
You do inspire me. And every now and then I do get a Hallmark moment, even if it's dark. Yeah, it turns out rock bottom is just a marker on the road. It's not a destination. You don't have to live there, I think is what is being said here. You can hit rock bottom and it can mark a moment in time, but you don't have to stay there.
Yeah.
Right? It should, in my personal opinion, shake you back to reality. Holy shit, I just hit rock bottom. I don't like it here. And then climb out.
Well, yeah, but not climb out into an escape or...
No, what I mean,
right?
like you're saying, success.
But
so you see the
it's
bottom.
like climbing back up or whatever, figuring it out. Like, I don't know. It just seems like too many, that want to just... That's the, and especially now in the recent times, it just seems like too many people are just, in the stories of the despair I hear, like, I went to my high school reunion and one of the girls, she killed herself because of, like, something with her hair or something. I'm not kidding. It was a vanity thing. Or... It was the craziest story. I was like, you're kidding me.
Well, that's kind of what I'm trying to say. When you create a society where rock bottom is a destination you can end up at, and they're fine when they get there, that's the difference, right? They did that interview. They went out and they asked people, because everyone likes to play that everybody's on the street because of supremacy or mental illness or being withheld. Until they actually went out there and asked a bunch of people why they were there, and they, by choice, addiction, choice, and because they were more comfortable living at rock bottom, because it turns out when there's nowhere else to go, Maybe some people find happiness there. Now, I'm not saying that that's not a thing. I don't want to shit on anybody.
No, because I think there's an acceptance that goes with that.
That's what I'm saying. You created.
You have.
It's
to.
okay.
Right. You have to justify that, and then it just keeps, going until they're going to the bathroom in the middle of the street. Like,
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes, when they could have hid behind the Breaking Band van. That will bring that full circle for us, and we're gonna finish this up.
And the other day, hanging from the ceiling,
This is way too long.
his sentence was almost out and
He was almost ready to get out.
Yeah, so I mean that
Because
is
getting
just
out was
so-
scarier than staying there.
Because he had no home to go to,
Yeah,
and you couldn't.
because you
create
can't
your
go
own-
home again.
But you can't create your own home or. A new
That's
home or
why
a-
we had to go
There's-
off, and it's so much deeper than this. Is not
Yeah.
superficial in any way.
And then what about all the women who throw themselves at prisoners? They get more women than if they're out in the.
Yeah, no, it makes no sense. I bought a new boyfriend. I think
mean-
David Berkowitz.
No, that
he
guy-
sounds good. Him and his dog friends. I like that.
The person who just unfortunately, annihilated those college kids.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't even 2 weeks, and he had his new girlfriend.
No, I love you, honey, and I'm not going to ask you to answer for all sisterdom. But what the fuck's wrong with you, ladies?
I don't relate.
Hey, is there
I
dudes that
don't
go like?
relate. Do not.
Is there a whole
They
line
seek
of guys
them
who
out.
want to
They
date
seek
like
them
Lorena
out.
Bobbitt while she carries scissors?
You know what I think it is? I think it's control.
Well, they're in a cage, and trust
It's
me.
control. They can't go and they
Right,
can't cheat on.
Remember
well, if they
Remember
could,
that
they
dumb
can.
mistake I made when I got out with my pen pal?
Yes.
Rollen's lying to you a little bit. Rollen knows about this a little too well. Rollen might have married the person who was writing to him in prison and then divorced that person a year later, because it turns out, if you've been listening, I made poor choices. You are not one of them. I
Oh.
love you. We better finish.
Let's go. This is like a half an hour.
Yeah. This is real, because I missed you and I haven't had you here, and I'm not trying to share you with the cliques, right? I'm not trying to share you with the John Farnham fans. They don't, you know what? I love you as much here as I do in those songs.
Oh, I know.
At least here, the few people who get something of value from the channel get the whole package. For the mics alone.
Yeah.
Right there on his bed was a note so sad and simple. Said you can never go home again. Never go home. Never
It's a good song, but it's so melancholy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You can't like jam to it.
Never go home.
So they were having a discussion in the comments.
Oh, really? Did you read something?
Well, I know about it. Robert and Mike's, and they're going back and forth about
Oh.
lyrical content versus beat.
Oh, okay.
And this, I think, another exclamation point on that discussion, where this is one of those songs where you would be better served taking in the lyrics loosely and just getting lost in the bluegrassy beat of it all.
Yeah, because it's a good song.
Yeah.
But but the lyrics are just so.
Once you start resonating with the lyrics, it's really hard to get lost in the beat.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, can you acknowledge the fact you're willing to look the other way for a good time? Hey, that's a foot stomping good time.
No,
Hey, that guy
because-
killed himself at the end, but yeah!
Because it's more like it would be more in tune with a ballad, like he could never go home
Yeah,
or whatever. Or stop it.
I'm glad this was recording.
I can't sing. People don't.
You
Please
can
don't.
sing. She sings beautiful music to
I
me.
cannot sing.
Okay, we better
Anyway,
go on.
you know what I mean.
They're gonna
like,
tell us to get a room.
Wow.
Never go
Oh, this.
Really good vocals.
So this is
They get the fit, the bars, really
Yeah.
good. I like the calm
Hell yeah.
It's just kind of a mixed match. You know, it'd be like listening to a Mariah Carey song with, you know, like that hit, you know, all. But then
you mean like a heavy metal version of Baby Got Back?
Stop it. No, because I don't think. No, I don't think so.
Because I mean, I could sell that one right now.
Hip hop, Mariah Carey, but then have the lyrics of like, you know, Tears in My Beer.
Oh yeah. It's like when they do the mashups, and you know, it's.
I'm just saying, you know, but I mean, we're not trying to take away or disrespect them. And anyways, very, very good.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And then read, what did that say? Go back. It was filmed live at the LR Baggs Soundcheck office in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, I think that's where they filmed their.
Interesting. Huh.
That's a nice comment. The link is up here if you'd like to read comments. We've definitely went far enough into this, so we better.
we gotta go.
If you've been here long enough, it feels like we're never going to let you go home.
Far, there's some kind of award for you.
Thank you. For the bus riders who are here, because they're here.
They're so dedicated. We appreciate you.
A lot.
A lot.